focus. I drank a focus at halftime. What are you talking about?
That's how it works.
I mean, it seems reasonable that if you're an athlete endorsing a product, that you're going to work that into the conversation in your post-game interview. Yeah.
If we went to 11:30, I'd probably come up with 20 more things. I mean, it's literally endless. The different things like universities say you can or can't do. But if it affects their value, can they say you can do it?
This is a good text. Part of me feels like people will look back on this in 5 years and think nothing has really changed. The best teams now will still be the best teams 5 years from now. I don't believe this will change that. If anything, it will widen the gap between the top tier and the next tier down.
So I agree, unless there is a really, really rich booster at some esoteric school who wants to dump money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could literally be the Yankees, just try to buy their championship.
We'll get there. We'll get there, Antron. You know we will. What's up, Bond?
But now, what does removing that mean for these schools that might have?
Am I missing any subjects? What am I forgetting to put on the docket?
News conferences could go on for hours if they let it today. I mean, they won't let it go on because the what ifs, they're probably all asking themselves. They're asking their compliance departments. They're asking their coaches.
Yeah.
And there will be things that they have not thought of that will come up. And then there will be unintended consequences of the things that have.
Right. You cannot plan for the unknown because there's so much unknown here. So like when Google developed.
Robbie, frontman, what's going on? Michelle,
75%,
Bradley.
25% are people complaining, and I wish you would have done this.
I literally just listened to 3 hours of what could go wrong with name, image, and likeness. I'm trying not to talk about that, y'all.
Totally different than you thought. So it's almost
I'm really
like
trying not to talk about that.
we don't want to overplan either because we're going to be working our butts off to things we can't even predict.
Roy M, what's going on? Jason Baker.
You got anything else down there on that, Mike? You go through your sheet of lies all the way.
We're on the last 15.
All right, so transfer portal. Ready? So now I don't like that I'm not playing. I transferred. Now, I'm playing a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm getting enough money. I'm going to transfer. Okay, does this increase transfer?
Man.
Maybe the hometown hero went somewhere else. It's like, you know what? I'm playing as much as I
can.
Money over there. Now I transfer back out.
And I'm just talking from my point of view. Are y'all ever talk to females who can't stop coming up with a problem? That's what this conversation sounded like. Well, what if they do this? What if they do? And I thought I was the king of hypotheticals. I literally thought I was the king of hypotheticals. After today, I realized I don't have anything.
A lot of times they don't understand the value. They transfer because they think like Luke. We don't know Luke McCaffrey.
Man,
we are feeling like he came in and thought.
Roy M, what do I need to add to the docket?
And then he comes in. He's like, sorry, but please.
Well, I think that it could lead to more. Where they transferred to. You might have a lot more guys come back who maybe were known as a high school player in their area. I mean, the real interesting one, the legend of Reed Shepherd is going to grow over the next few years. And Lloyd Gardner, knows the marketability of high school athletes. He thinks he's the most marketable player he's ever king of bluegrass since Rex Chapman. And so as his value builds, I think his value will be greater within the state than outside the state, right? At
least initially, until
he's
on the national
he's
stage.
building himself a legend in this state. I mean, if
Positivity. They must be Mitchell with the hypotheticals. Man, can y'all believe Mitch is getting out of here?
The legend grows out there.
Is this Mitch's last day?
More off the legend he's building by staying in Kentucky or Louisville. Probably more Kentucky because his dad played there, was an MOP. But that's one that's going to be real interesting to watch. Let's go to Nate up next. Nate, welcome to Ninth Rain of the ESPN 680.
What up, fellas?
What's going on? We heard from the Sackaroo. Now we got you. We got the whole. You guys are going on a lake this weekend. We know what's going on with you guys.
No lake this weekend. Like next week.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know how
So
work.
they need to clean. They need to make sure they bring the street sweepers for the sidewalks for Sunday and Monday.
Sitting there watching everybody swim and have a good time. So whatever.
You have to just drink more beer.
I got to give a shout out to Bitsy, the mower man.
Yeah.
Yesterday and trimmed my bush. Well, my bush is. Sure, my bush is.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about
They
that.
were getting, they were getting out of hand, and I called him up today. I just did my favor. It's like, you know what, dude? I'll be right there. Came right over, got me all trimmed up. Mama's not hollering at me no more. Thanks, bitch.
That's good, man. We wish you a speedy recovery, man.
Yeah, man. Everybody's looking out for me. It's kind of like when Paris was sick. Like I heard from his cousin, third sisters, brothers, uncle-in-law. Everybody's checking on me, and I do appreciate everybody. But I'm good, I promise.
All right, well, good to know, man. Good to know.
All right, y'all have a good weekend.
All right, Dave. Appreciate the call. He's just telling us
What happened?
his own injury.
What
He hurt his foot. He tore a bunch of ligaments in his foot or something.
Oh,
He's been
wow.
laid up. Yeah, it's no good. It's
Have a
no
good
good.
time.
Yeah.
I know he's a tall, big boy, so foot's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So
Nate got a badass truck, y'all.
We got like 7 minutes. Yeah.
But so here's the dark side of this also is because I can't wait to make money and they do that, and now there is this feeling of the business is kind of saying, look, I paid you a lot of money. I need you to play a little better. Like pressure from the business, like saying, I'm not paying this for you to be garbage.
It's
You
a
know, like,
contract.
Oh,
You got
I had one
representation.
earlier. I mean,
I'm 18 years old, and your parents are like, what did you sign with who?
yeah, but
You have
Are they really
representation.
bad with a college kid? I mean, are you?
I don't think so, but I don't know. There's some really
Mike.
people out there.
I mean, it's crazy to think that it's
This,
you know,
oh God,
that couldn't be a possibility.
this reminds
I
me.
don't think it's the like.
This reminds me of
It's added pressure.
you can't play.
Child
You can't play sports because this guy might touch this guy, who might touch this person, who might do this and might do that and might do that, and everybody should run for cover and just stay.
Hold that for years.
Oh,
All right.
everybody should just lock themselves in the bathrooms for the rest of the year. We'll let the military drop off food
What will that mean
door to door.
I know I'm not necessarily stretching, but there's no be cases of this. There will be for mental health. Okay, so now you're getting endorsed.
That was a nice visit with Rodney Rice. Looks like Coach Mack was trying to go 4 guards. It's about time. Andrew Mullins gives the shout out. What's up, Midday family? And we are on our way to being a family. I won't divulge right now. That part. Appreciate it, Robbie. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words, sir. Might have sound. Look, no, Nate's a big time U of L guy. He is family.
Even more psychologists now between issues like that, anxiety from players worrying about performing, and disparity in income in the locker room. I think that all
Locker room.
are going to be
Locker room feelings.
You're gonna earn your money now.
Yeah, you're really going to earn.
Locker room feelings.
I mean, it's infinite.
Yeah.
There's
You see, it's infinite.
I mean, I think the real
Locker room feelings.
Every male sport except for football and basketball, guys aren't on full scholarships. You know, I mean, they're on partial scholarships. So,
Oh,
is there,
God.
talking about that big extra money. Some of these guys just don't want to have a student loan. You know,
Elliot, what's going on down in Raleigh? Go Cards, no doubt, the Raleigh family. What's going on? I need to get down to Raleigh, North Carolina. My family's all down there in Durham, Raleigh, Charlotte, Asheville. I need to take a road trip too. Maybe I'll just jump in my car and go somewhere for the weekend. I got too much work to do. I can't go anywhere just right yet. But
he could walk on, and he gave up his scholarship his senior year. You know, to actually be walk on. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think
best craft beer. Wait, the best craft beers in Raleigh. I know that's the first time I ever heard that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this focus. Again, I can't wait for these NASCAR style interviews after the game. But I think you're right. They may want to do locker room interviews, or again, I'll go back to what I think was Moses, some of the Andy saying the other day that he had talked to someone at a university who was like, well, what if a guy's all of a sudden having a great year, and we have a bunch of outlets that want to do stories on them, and they want to be paid for the interviews, right? I'll tell you right now, they're not getting paid. Trust me, there's not enough money. Media companies, right? They're struggling enough to survive. That you're not paying. We've talked about this. will, a lot of times, like in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes comes on our station there. They pay him a good amount of money to come on every Monday.
I feel like I gotta do this, y'all.
Will player cut a radio deal around here? Right, that
Not just the coach's media deal, but
Malik Cunningham commits to do an interview. We're not doing this, but on ESPN Louisville every Monday at 7:30. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we will.
You're live.
And do you remember the old
And
Saturday
they can hear.
Night Live skit?
I should have got the coffee.
John Belushi running
I got a bacon, egg, and cheese, and it just didn't do it.
Little chocolate donuts.
My stomach was terrible.
Say, focus,
I should've
you
got
might have
coffee.
this. No, I went in the locker room and
You
had
for the kick?
pork rinds,
Just,
chocolate donuts.
that would have
That's
been
how
more
I did it.
satisfying.
Yeah.
You'll say
Instead, I
whatever
got the
it is.
bacon, egg, and cheese meal.
Yes.
Because look, I've been doing good.
But I got
Lost
mine.
about 5 pounds this week. Felt good. It's like, no, we got bacon, egg, and cheese meal. Now I want coffee. I think it's just a habit.
You can go back there and make one.
It's infinite.
That crap. I want a coffee.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh, why don't you go over to Quills?
I think you will start seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody got
having
COVID
players,
there.
I just think there's going to be a lot of ripples, unintended consequences that could affect
Steve,
the game.
I just listened
Which I think
to
was
Drew
the game
Diener
that it
and
affects
Mike
the value of
Lindsay.
players.
And
All right,
in
Mike.
his last sentence, he
Well,
said,
see you, man.
it's infinite.
Like the crisp apple focus?
I did. I
3
did.
hours
So that's
of
over.
what problems
That's
the
top
name,
my power
image, and
ranking.
likeness.
Is the crisp
And
apple
it sounded
focus.
just like the.
That was my top.
Well, if
Yeah,
you go to
I said top
if
of
you go to
ranking, power ranking.
Churchill Downs,
My top five.
you take a pee in the bathroom and you touch yourself, and then he touches him, and he touches him, and then I touch my grandma, and then she touches
And
the dog.
everybody knows you get that urge sometimes where you're like, hey, go over and piss me out. Like everybody. I mean, I do that at least twice a day. Like that guy sitting in that white van, I'm just like, hey man, you was in here, I piss all over you.
Oh,
It's like, hey, yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. Andrew says, "What up, Steve?"
Hey, Andrew.
Roy M, shout out. And Cam says, "Come get this bag, Mr. Curry."
Yeah. So Roy, there's every morning I go to McDonald's. There is a young man that works there, and he's a huge Ohio State fan. So I think Roy's from up in Columbus.
Mhm.
So I've been chatting with him every day. Good dude.
Would he pay? Would he?
Smokes weed. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just see it.
So he's calm.
Keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game. Now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco double frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the ultimate unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's largest and most dependable networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless.
No contract, no compromise.
Compatible device required. See straighttalk.com.
Friends, if you're in a job you can't stand or worried your unemployment benefits will be ending, you need to go to mycomputercareer.edu and fill out the free career evaluation form. I've personally spoken to them, and apparently
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Tom Brady doesn't have a lot left to prove after winning a record 7 Super Bowls. So what motivates the soon-to-be 44-year-old to keep playing? Here's what he told the Late Late Show host James Corden.
It's hard to walk away from something that, you still feel like you can do and you want to do. So It's not about proving it to others, right? What you could do. It's more about proving it to yourself. And I still feel like even though I'll be 44 this year, I still have a chance to still, prove it to myself that I can still do it at 44.
Elsewhere, the Steelers reworked their offensive line Thursday. First, they released 6-time Pro Bowl guard David DeCastro, who's been battling an ankle injury. Then to replace him, Pittsburgh agreed to a 1-year deal with 5-time Pro Bowler Trey Turner. And get ready for some throwbacks. The NFL will now allow teams to use 2 different helmets beginning in 2022. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how. Some things just go better together, like a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for $26.48. It's like bacon and eggs, hot dogs and mustard, or Joni and Chachi. Ask your dad about it. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for $26.48. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 6/30/21.
Lowe's wants you to bring the whole family back together this July 4th. We have new lower prices on select bagged mulch starting at $2.88 a bag. And add some sizzle with $50 off select Weber Genesis gas grills. Make this holiday one worth remembering. The summer savings continue this July 4th. So stop by Lowe's in-store or online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, selection and product availability vary by location. Valid 6/24 through 7/7. U.S. only. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Beer Nose Pizza. Yeah, it's that good. This week kicked off the NBA Combine as they prepare for the NBA draft at the end of July. And 2 former Cardinals were in action yesterday in 5-on-5 games. As former Cardinal Carlik Jones finished with 7 points in 20 minutes of action. And former Cardinal David Johnson finished with 10 points and 4 rebounds in 17 minutes of action. Also in NBA news, last night the Los Angeles Clippers pulled off a 106-92 win over the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns still have the series lead at 2-1. Paul George led the way for the Clippers with 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. Just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NBA playoffs and the NBA Finals this season, as we'll have coverage of Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tonight when the Hawks take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Currently, the Hawks hold a 1-0 series lead, and the tip-off for that game tonight is set for 8:30. We'll have that coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville starting at 8 o'clock. Moving on to Major League Baseball news, the Cincinnati Reds got above 500 with a win last night against the Atlanta Braves. And they pulled off a 5-3 win, and they currently sit at 37-36 on the year. Nick Castellanos led the way for the Reds, going 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs and 1 run. And they'll look to make it 2 in a row against the Braves tonight, with our coverage beginning at 7 o'clock on ESPN 680. Big news came down yesterday as Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signed an executive order to require all colleges in the state of Kentucky to allow student athletes to make money in their name, image, and likeness. University of Louisville Athletic Director Vince Tyree will address the media about the order at noon. We'll have that coverage for you on the V Show. And UK Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart will do the same at 2 o'clock, and that will also be during the V Show on ESPN 680. Louisville women's basketball coach Jeff Walls joined our very own Drew Diener earlier on the Diener Show, and he gave his thoughts on Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signing that order.
First off, I'd like to thank our governor. We were one of many states that had not come up with a plan yet. And in this recruiting world, when you're competing against, I think, 6 that was ready to pass a name, image, and likeness bill to allow the student athletes to be able to go out and make some money, earn some money. It's a little bit of a recruiting disadvantage to not be in that mix. So very grateful.
You can catch that full interview on the ESPN Louisville SoundCloud page or at 939theville.com. And last but certainly not least, the Louisville Bats were also in action last night as they lost 6-2 to the Indians. And they'll look to rebound tonight at 7 o'clock at Louisville Slugger Field. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is Sports Center.
Yeah, it's that good. Bear Nose Pizza. Good taste, happy face, your place, my place. What's gonna make you happy? It's the smile I see on your face. It's that good. Yes, it
Hey Cards fans, Zach here with Great Flood Brewing Company. We are so excited to have reopened bar seating at both locations. Stop by and enjoy a Great Flood brewed beer at our Highlands tap room or sit down at our reconfigured bar in Middletown for a burger, pizza, cocktail, or beer. We're thankful to have weathered the past year with you all. We love cheering on the Cards with you and are incredibly appreciative of your continued business. Go Cards!
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Earn $14.50 plus up to $425 in weekly bonuses depending on shift. And you might even be eligible for a program that helps you graduate college debt-free. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities at UPS. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville. Who said you have to be on a golf course to get a mulligan? Download the Twin Spire Sportsbook app right now, and you'll unlock a good old-fashioned mulligan up to $1,000 if your opening bet misses the win column. Just use code FREE1000 and take your swing with up to $1,000 risk-free bet with Twin Spires.
Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit twinspires.com. Offer valid for new players only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Indiana to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9 with it.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. Hayward's look at his steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Marcus Mason! And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Mason off the steal. Oh, my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Mason. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Mason. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Mason. So sit back and relax and watch Maven. Break it down like this. Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Ooh, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And people, I feel like this is going to be the perfect dismount to a great, great week. Steve Rummage in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
It's Friday, which is I know the energy's always up around town, so I know people are excited, people are ready to go. And look, Mondays, Fridays, it is what it is for us. But I do enjoy the extra added juice that you feel, you know. So,
Brian Hall, you had no idea we had a visitor just now, did you?
I saw him come in. I saw him give you the picture and everything. I didn't know who he was. I was just kind of letting him do his thing. Seemed like a big fan of you, Marcus.
Shout out Albert C. Just dropped in a nice painting in here.
Yeah.
Dang, did he do that?
He did do that.
Amazing, man. It's
That is
watercolor.
That's awesome.
That's wild.
Look at the cornrows, man.
Is that the first thing you noticed? You didn't notice how Marcus came
Oh, look how high you are too, man.
withstood the adversity of three players hanging on to his jersey. Look at his face, Steve. Look at his body posture.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Look at them. What are they doing?
Was that Dwayne?
That was Dwayne.
Was it?
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you know the players that you're dunking on right there?
Yes.
I don't know how I knew that was Dwayne.
Yes, I do. If I had a second to think about it, I know exactly which three those
Obviously,
are.
that's the Syracuse orange.
Because I was so excited about having him in the photo too. As the guy that ended up going to the Wizards. I can't think of his name right off the bat.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Thank you, Albert. Thank you so much.
That's a tremendous picture, man.
So
you tweet that out later, man.
Here's the thing. Where does it go up in the studio?
Right. I know. Yeah.
No, that goes in the man cave.
Like, dude.
No, I'm just gonna make everybody stare.
Just gonna bulldoze.
Listen, this is gonna be the reminder you need to clean up after yourself. In the
If not,
studio.
Marcus will dunk on you.
Yeah, just see Marcus.
Have to look at me every day and do hours and hours of radio. You already got to look at me in the front when you come.
I know when you come in, it's like, dude, come on now. He said he had another one coming that was like a side profile of me
us.
and Maben doing the show. So I was like, I wonder if maybe Brian I'll be in the background.
Really?
He said he really believes in what we do over here.
That was cool, man.
And that was kind of the inspiration of wanting to be a part of that. Sorry
Dang,
about
now I
that.
wish I would have came out and talked to him.
I know. Yeah, no, it's very.
Sorry, I had some work I was trying to get done.
That was very awesome.
Okay, so Steve, the title of the show was "I'm Getting Nervous." It was one thing.
Okay,
and that's a conversation we're going to have to get to. Of course, 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. But here's the thing, Steve. I want to complain, right?
Okay.
I don't want to complain, but I feel like I have to complain. But I need you to be my eyes on this one a little bit.
Okay,
be my
let's do
eyes,
that.
be my ears, be my consigliere on this one, because I listened to the Drew Diener show, ESPN 680, 1057, and 93.9 The Ville, weekdays from 7 to 10.
Mm-hmm. You gave out on the info, so that means you're going to be nasty to him.
Yes.
I know.
Isn't that like the rule?
Yeah.
Like if you have to give a shout out, like you have to say shout out.
That's the radio version of like no offense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just like I told Process this morning, I'm like, no offense, but you sound like crap.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know if you need to make some adjustments on the soundboard or something like that, but you sound terrible.
Okay.
And I was like, and then I said, well, you don't sound terrible, but you don't sound like yourself.
Real quick before we get to Bash and Drew, why is that building still there?
It shouldn't be.
I thought we had the show yesterday and we talked about that was going to be gone.
Why is it still operational?
Yeah.
Is what I want to know.
Why are they still?
Are we going to see people packing their bags and
I know,
packing up their offices?
No, I'm like, yo, why is this? I thought I was going to come today and there was supposed to be a hotel there.
Later on, I was thinking about were we too harsh on the closing of the building? Of like, are there good memories or bad memories for most of the people who occupied that building?
Yeah,
I remember the piping was pretty old. It sucked. That's awesome.
Oh wow.
Now you look at the difference. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, Steve.
That's a cool picture.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I listened to Drew Diener and Crumb's Revenge, also known as Mike Lindsay.
Okay.
This morning.
Right.
And I heard pretty much over the course of 3 hours, every single name, image, and likeness issue that you could come up with in 3 hours.
Okay.
Normally, when you get to the end of a show, we're saying, is there anything else we missed? They were just getting warmed up in the last 3 minutes of the show of issues of the name, image, and likeness.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was just for like good radio, you needed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that sounded like fear porn to me.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. And I found myself agreeing with Process, who I very rarely agree with on his college sports takes.
Right.
And I don't like when people just jump to the end and nothing to see here, blah, blah, blah. Steve, I don't think I've ever disagreed with Mike Lindsay and Drew Diener more within a 3 hour. And think about it. we've been disagreeing for the better part of a lot of years.
Right.
I've never listened to. I don't know if I want to say disagree. I've probably rolled my eyes more in that 3-hour period.
Yeah.
Than with my worst ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
Because that's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
It reminded me of a girl.
Who is your worst ex-girlfriend?
Who is my worst ex-girlfriend? Huh. You've completely derailed it, but you asked, and I owe you an explanation. My worst ex-girlfriend. Who is my worst ex-girlfriend?
Give us 38 31 93 9. Give us your worst ex-boyfriend or girlfriend stories. I want to read some.
Steve, I have a pretty good track record.
Okay.
I don't have a wait. Okay, I gotta have a bad girlfriend.
Yeah.
I gotta have a bad girlfriend.
Yeah. Sure.
Go
for it.
Let me come back to that.
We'll get back to it.
Okay, back to the point.
So I'm curious. I think I got one too.
I listened to Mike come up with, what if there's a product that, the Yum Brands company does something with the school, and Texas Roadhouse wants somebody to advertise it, and I'm just sitting there just rolling my eyes because I'm like, he's independent. They already said you can't wear the logo of the University of Louisville unless that company has a deal with Louisville. It's his name, image, and likeness. He's an independent contractor.
Okay.
He has representation. I'm listening to him talk about, well, what if he's not performing well and they're going to put pressure on him to perform better? And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like,
I know.
Yeah, you know what I heard them talk about, Steve?
I'm listening.
Well, in the locker room, if one of them is making more money than the other one, then I heard Mike Lindsay talk about the emotions and his self-esteem. If not a lot of people are coming after him for advertising. I'm like, Mike, you know better than that. You know what a locker room is like. You think one of these dudes that got 10 different girlfriends?
Yeah.
You think the self-esteem? Do we worry about the self-esteem of his teammates?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's going to necessarily.
You come out of the locker room, Steve, and you're signing autographs, and I'm signing autographs, and one of us got 1,000 people waiting for an autograph, and one of them says, "What's your number again?"
Yeah,
Mike. Drew. Maybe it's my athlete ears. It was.
Thank you.
Peter's killing me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Talking about we're. Oh,
so you with us on this?
Yeah, it's great for U of L and UK.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great for Louisville.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
That's what I was thinking.
Did you hear how many issues they could bring up in a 3-hour period?
Poor Crumb's revenge. I'm like, let's go, baby. I want to get the backup left guard to do liners for my show.
right.
I mean,
absolutely.
anything. Yeah,
absolutely.
What?
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
He looks like somebody I know.
Okay.
So, yeah, right. He actually like Deion Lee. So I'm just listening, and I'm just like, and what if a company or on based on the looks of a woman, and I'm just like, is this what we're gonna do? And he said at the end, Mike said it to his credit. He said infinite.
Yeah, the issues that you could come up with.
Yes,
Yeah.
infinite issues. Well, what if he's pressured, and what if the mom doesn't like the deal he signed, or what if he signed Javian Hawkins? He increases value. Okay, if Javian Hawkins was in a deal early on, and then he started performing better, he goes get more deals. Well, what if Steve? What if it's going to negatively impact the university money because he took $25,000 that was supposed to go to the university and went straight to the kid with it? And I'm just like, go get some more sponsorship. Like, what?
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Like 3 hours.
Here's the thing, man. And somebody texted in.
But it was a perfect representation of what people are doing outside of this conversation. This is why there's so many suggestions.
Well, I think at the very beginning, for one, see, I think the difference is going to be everybody. I don't know. I think some people have in their mind, I'm not talking about Drew and Mike, I'm just saying in general, that like July 1st, everybody's going to start getting paid. Like, I don't think that's how it's going to happen. I think you're going to have, it's going to be interesting. I was listening this morning driving in, and I was thinking, I was like, some of these stories are funny too. I'm going to get to them. But I was driving in thinking, man, in the next couple of weeks, I was, you know how sometimes you project out and you see us like, okay, I saw us doing a show, and we were doing, and I was listening to Drew, and then I was coming in to do a show with you because said player just signed the first big endorsement deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to happen over the next few weeks. But I think that the interesting thing there's going to be like, I don't think you're just going to immediately start just, okay, well, Tan Connection is going to find somebody, try to keep them in business. This person's going to find somebody. Like, I mean, you know, like I know Andy was joking, but I mean, you know, like the backup left tackle is going to get somebody. Like, you're going to have, okay, this guy. Now, I'm not saying it will keep this. Haley Van Lith is probably quickly going to start making some money off her name, off social media, off doing TikToks or whatever.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Haley Van Lith, we don't know her financial situation already. And how much will we know about it? Like, unless the company wants to announce, you know, hey, well, Dove Soap just paid, $20,000 for Haley Van Lith to put it on her wall,
But see, that's my point. Something like a Dove Soap. It's a national brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a local brand.
Right.
They're not, I mean, okay, there's going to be like 2-3 players in the nation fighting for something like that.
Like the big companies, Old Spice, they're doing commercials with funny dudes, Famous Los, 32. Yeah, like they're just going to TikTokers.
And a lot of these people aren't going to be real thrilled about working with college athletes because like college athletes don't necessarily, they aren't really national brands.
Right. And they're not available.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, who's a national brand in college football coming into this? Last year, it was Trevor Lawrence. Probably the one guy that
your area, you might be like conference area. You might
and clean this up for me. A lot of times, and especially in football, the guys that are the best players aren't going to fit the image.
The huge company image. Yeah. You can just say like that.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
When you've got Wild Dude from, I don't know why I called him Wild Dude, but I should have did that. But you got Louisiana guy who's, just real dark skinned Louisiana talk, chat like. I don't think JP Pirtle or whatever.
No, JP Morgan.
JP Morgan.
JP Pirtle's awesome.
Yeah, JP Pirtle. What did I say? JP Morgan. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Right.
The fight. Are they going to want to do that?
Or they might try to clean up their image. Maybe Papa John's does go try to get this guy to change his image. But again,
that's not uncomfortable though, right?
No. Everybody knows exactly what you're saying.
Within football,
we've had this conversation 1,000 times.
Like Reggie Bush, I think would have been easily marketable.
No, we have said looking the part helps your endorsements.
Teddy went and got his jaw broke and restructured.
Listen,
he did that to fit the image.
It was not uncomfortable to say, hey, Patrick Mahomes is going to have more advertising, than
Lamar,
universal appeal than Lamar. Yeah,
absolutely. So and now you're talking college. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in college, what national brand would have went out and grabbed Lamar?
Rockaware.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There would have been a couple like that, but what I'm saying,
maybe Urban Clothing Line would have. They're the first to jump in there.
And then like but I mean, my point is like national brands, even Trevor Lawrence. what national a hair company maybe would have added him in with. I could see him making an appearance with Troy Polamalu. Like maybe Troy Polamalu does something and then Trevor Lawrence walks in the commercial.
Did he win the Heisman?
No,
he never won the Heisman. Yep. Okay.
But the sad thing is that quarterback doesn't have to.
Yeah, you're right.
Because people kind of see you as a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were there 2 times at the finals.
Yeah, you're high. But you get what I'm saying? Like,
keep it big picture.
Yeah,
like
it's not the brands. I just don't think.
And we keep throwing around these numbers like there isn't a market. Like again, if Sam can get somebody to throw him $20,000 to say, I eat at this place, let's do a commercial. You know what I'm saying? He cannot wear Louisville clothing. He can do just like Jack Harlow did, put on some red and black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And wear some unlicensed
Yeah.
Louisville product.
Yep.
You know, and make a couple of dollars. Like
call himself Sam Williamson, you know.
Yeah,
like,
right. And say my name is Sam Williamson. And and it's like if Town and Country has a sponsorship with Louisville basketball. No, when I'm not on the court, I'm at, B&B Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not on the court, that you're an independent contractor when you get outside of university, sports clothes on the court. You're not filming on the court. Like I said, and if you do get the logo, that company has to already be in business, had already brought the rights to use the Cardinal bird.
Okay, but and again though, those are all going to be local endorsements. I don't know. I mean, how many people have come through Louisville or Kentucky for that matter that would have been national, like I said, Lamar and Anthony Davis.
And anybody worthy of national commercial is not going to be here 6 months.
Right.
They're going to have their season and then they're going off to the pros.
But would you agree with me that Lamar would have made big money after he won the Heisman? So you're going to win. You're going to get. It's still going to be a little bit performance based. That's why I say I think some people see this as July 1st hits. And again, I don't think Drew and Mike was saying this at all. But I think some believe, like I talked to my buddy and stuff, and like it was kind of like the way he thought, hey, July 1st, everybody's gonna start making money. I see the football players putting out messages. They're going to start making money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I think it's going to still be kind of performance based.
But that's why I made the point yesterday about Zion. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if it was all given to him.
Yeah,
he was hundreds of thousands of dollars in benefits at Duke.
Yeah.
He played his rear end off because he wants to be a millionaire in the NBA.
Yeah.
These guys they're going to play harder for more endorsement opportunities.
Okay, so let me make an argument. Because I know we're doing this kind of to give the other side. Is there a chance that this ends up as a whole helping somebody like Scott Davenport more?
Yes.
Because if I'm Coach Davenport and I have Dr. Lynn,
Dr.
I'm sorry, or something like that. I just say that because I know he's a big supporter of Bellarmine, right? To me, that opens the door for Coach Davenport. I'm sorry, I call him Scott Davenport. So Coach Davenport to go get another level up of player. Because now if I'm local guy, if I'm local guy who's a 3-4 star-ish guy, I go, maybe I can't, maybe I'll just play Bellarmine. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. Coach, plug your ears.
Yeah.
Because I need to be honest for a second with the people. Plug your ears, turn it off. Listen, I know you're doing your exercise right now. Listen. Coach Davenport's roster construction is always very similar, Steve, or seems to be very similar, right? When Coach has 2 of them, right, and 6 buy-ins
Yeah.
6 buy-in players.
Yeah.
And 2 of those guys.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. 2 that start.
I think that's fair.
And 1 that comes in.
That was kind of the number that was in my brain.
Yep.
It's 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
You don't think a Dr. Lynn advertising commercial for the 2 dudes and the 6 buy-ins?
And let me be clear again. I feel bad we keep throwing Dr. Lynn's name out there. It's just he's a supporter of Belgium. There's no,
it's
I think what he paid for the locker room.
Right. So yes, Steve, Coach Davenport style.
Like I said, a macro.
Yep.
As a whole picture, could it help Bellarmine more?
No, I mean,
you're saying his style.
I won't say more, but
not more.
Like it won't give him an advantage over somebody, but it'll help him get on a level playing field.
Okay, but I'm saying relative to the how many more guys? Okay, because let's not be can we just be not uncomfortable? Can Kentucky do better hell? They had the #1 recruiting class last year. They had 2 top 5 guys.
Listen, I heard, I think Sweeney texted to Mike or Drew and they said it on air. And it was one of those, I almost ran off the road because I almost screamed. Listen, I was here early and I almost went into into Cat West and got on the microphone just to say, help Kentucky more. Were y'all not listening when Brian read off the last 9 classes?
Yeah.
1, 1, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
2.
but I'll play this game on the same way. Outside of, because I'll give you this. Okay, maybe Louisville gets 1 extra guy, which can be a big difference in basketball, right? But I mean, is Louisville's recruiting going to skyrocket all of a sudden?
Nope.
Because they can do this? See, I don't think so. That's why I say it may be a different scenario where that's why I say relative, but it would if a guy like Coach Davenport could go get 3 guys he couldn't get without the NIL. Well, then in relative to it's helped him more than it is anybody.
I mean, some of these supporters of their program, they'll do this just to have an exciting team.
I would. if I had the money to do it, I told Drew this back in the back.
You told me that years ago.
I would love to be able to say, yes, no, I have a hand. And that's why I wanted to do radio. I've said this on the air many times. I always just wanted to have a voice in the team I grew up loving.
Yep.
I wanted to have a voice and be a little piece that moves something, that moves the needle somewhere. So I would love, if I had money to do it. Look, my wife's talking about starting a business in the next couple of years. And you know what? If we get to that point, I will absolutely be a massive donor to the university. 1,000%.
Or to the individual.
I would pay a player in a heartbeat. Like I said, if it's legal, if I can do it legally, absolutely. And 100K of my money to go to get this guy, sure.
And when
I give Sidney Curry $200,000, that's my problem. Is I'm emotional. Actually, that's a terrible idea.
Look,
actually, you know what? Drew and them were right, because if I gave Sidney Curry $300,000 and he didn't dunk everything, I would be like, dang. Can you imagine me just standing there? What the?
Right.
You remember the guy at the end of the fight at Great White Height? He was like, "What the?
What was this? I want my money. I want my money's worth."
I would be like, "Cindy."
Yeah, but again, and here's the thing. Like even who says Adrian says they brought up the 1099, and I'm like, good. Teach them a real life skill earlier.
Ugh.
Make them have to go sit in their class and learn, okay, what do I need to do with this 1099? You have representation early. You can learn these things early. I think the faster you learn this, the better.
You are right, man.
Because it'll be the first time.
Because the first time I worked a full year with the 1099, it blew me away. Because at the end of the year, I was like, what do you mean I owe you?
Right.
I'm filing taxes.
You got to learn this stuff early.
Yeah.
You got to learn this stuff early. So yeah, like the point being to that, nothing. I don't want to say it's nothing. It's going to be.
Oh no, it's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be. interesting.
I don't want us to sound like we're on the other side of it, where we're saying, "Oh, it's not as big of a deal as y'all."
Yeah, it's a huge deal, but
it's going to be a big deal.
It's huge in all. Like, what is it? Rising tides lift all boats.
Yes,
Yeah.
and let me give you another scenario where it's going to be a huge deal. Now, all of a sudden, a player who's making a decision to go pro, it's a big deal there. See, we're just going straight to recruiting and stuff. Like, it's not just there. Like, okay, if I'm David Johnson and I'm like, okay, which by the way, we'll get to him later. Yeah, we'll get to him later.
I'm not happy about David Johnson.
Okay, we'll talk about that. But if I'm saying, okay, I'm here in my draft, I've got 110K sitting here waiting on me. Because I did hear Luke Hancock text in. He said something like, well, I would have took 100,000 and live the way out, because when you're at Louisville, you live in luxury as opposed to going to the G League for 150,000. Like, absolutely.
I've told people that, that.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, now guys that are making decisions, I think that's where the decision is going to get. And if you want to do the find a problem for every solution. That's where, hey, you get a guy like Steve Rummage. I'm like, well, what's it going to take you? What would it take for you to stay?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, okay, what would it take for you to stay? 200K. Okay. All right. If you'll come back, Carleek, if you'll come back one more year, like if I had that money and Carleek Jones was said, if I was paying Carleek Jones 80,000, and he was like, I'm going to need to double it, man, to stay. Okay. Done. To add you.
Right.
Yeah. Add you back to the team. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
No,
listen, that happens. And I want it to be clear. This will be a thing too, as far as making a decision to test the NBA waters, because overseas money is not like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So again, when you say 40 on campus versus 80 overseas,
that's a good point. Yeah.
40 on campus, meals, car, everything, all your luxuries on campus.
Oh yeah.
40,000 on a United States of America college campus. It's worth a hell of a lot more.
You already don't have to. I mean, like, let's not the elephant in the room. You already don't have to pay for a lot in a place like Louisville. Now, look, if you play for UNLV, or if you play for a Georgia Tech, you know what? They may not know who you are. You're not a Falcon, you're not a Brave,
right.
You're not a, or whatever.
Heck, there is.
Yeah. So, but in a place like Louisville or a place like Kentucky, you probably don't have to pay if you really don't want to. A lot of places. So you give me,
and these are business deals, y'all.
Yeah, I got 30 G's in my pocket for the semester or for the year. And
listen. And all you have to do is write up 3 types of contracts, or Steve, 3 types of contracts.
Mm-hmm.
A guest appearance contract. What I'm saying on that is you're gonna have some contract templates where the player can just go to the business and say, this is my terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying, for what you want. Both signed by both parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, we have a notary,
and you can have an agent for
right.
So,
and it's okay to have
any agent's going to tell you guarantee that money.
Yeah.
You
listen, your agent or lawyer, right? And they say, and Drew read through the Florida, kind of the Florida guidelines, and it was like you can't make a commitment past your university. So listen, I might like my agent in college, right? Who did my name, image, and likeness. Or I might say, no, it's time for me to get another one.
Yeah. Well, and I heard him use Javian Hawkins, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We still had a show where we were like, this Javian kid's pretty good, but whatever. But okay, we as a fan base may have not known, but Javian knew. Like, Javian Hawkins knew, because he said none of us knew Javian Hawkins before a season, and then he blew up. But Javian knew that. Javian practiced with Hassan every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm Javian Hawkins, I'm going, dude, I don't think I'm gonna say his spot. Like,
right.
So
I'm gonna wait.
So or I'm gonna sign a deal and I'm gonna have an opt-out clause or a I can move on for, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna put something in here where I can move on.
And it's okay.
Sure.
It's okay to teach 18-year-olds to learn to read contracts.
No, that's the part of it that's going to be good for it.
And I'm saying it's okay passively. I'm saying you should not, that shouldn't be a worry conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be having contracts and taxes, and I'm like, thank God. Because listen, I'm on that Kwame Brown thing. Like, yeah, they need coding in the 5th grade anyway. They should be learning taxes in the 5th grade anyway. Like I said, all that, just to me, it's just a lot of distractions are always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you say, "Oh, this kid's going to get paid and he's going to stop," women stop guys from concentrating.
Sure. Tony Romo,
family issues
ruined his career.
Who, Jessica?
No, Carrie Underwood, right?
It was somebody before her.
Was it? Or was it Danica Patrick?
Who was Tony? No, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Brian, who was Tony Romo with before Carrie
Jessica
Underwood?
I thought it was Jessica Simpson.
Might have been Jessica Simpson was one.
He was with Carrie Underwood for a long time though.
Yeah. He just started playing.
Let me look up. He's got quite the resume.
I think Jessica started him down that road of celebrity dating.
It's just like, God, he just sucked. He was like, what happened, dude?
Kardashian.
Yeah, it's like, what happened, bro?
Oh, let's take our first commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
The NBA playoffs continue.
Back-to-back three-pointers for Ice Trae Young.
They all feed off the confidence Trae Young plays with, and you saw that here tonight in Game 1.
Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks continue to roll, winning Game 1 in Milwaukee. Now Giannis and the Bucks look to bounce back to tie the series up at 1.
You can't get too high, you can get too low. You got to come out, Game 2, try to compete, and wish for the best.
Coverage begins tonight at 8 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville. Pat Jaggers here, and I invite you to join me for another action-packed edition of Trading Paint this Sunday at 9 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville. This week, we'll lead things off, giving you my take on NASCAR's return to Nashville. We go inside the numbers of this year's IndyCar season, as it's been won with an abundance of surprises. And I'm excited to announce that NASCAR legend Rusty Wallace will join me as we take a stroll down memory lane. Once again, it's Trading Paint, and it's this Sunday at 9 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville.
Time is running out on the hottest financing deal of the year at Genesis Diamonds. You have until June 30th to take advantage of this, so don't waste time. Right now, pick any item at Genesis, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. All GIA certified diamonds are included, so it's a great time to celebrate your love and upgrade her diamond. Or surprise her for your anniversary with a stunning eternity band or designer necklace. You're going to get the best Genesis price and lock in zero interest financing for 5 whole years with zero down. If you've had your eye on something, now is the time to make the move, because this offer makes everything more affordable. An $8,000 tennis bracelet for just $134 a month. A $6,000 diamond pendant, just $100 a month. An opportunity like this doesn't come around often, so don't miss this. Genesis will even be open this Sunday for your convenience. 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down, now through June 30th, only at Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza, on approved credit.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming, and whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
At Kroger, we know there's never a good time to run out of fresh. Luckily, our delivery and free pickup make it easy to grab what you need. So whether it's a few extra buns for the backyard barbecue or some miscellaneous munchies for movie night, we make it easy to get back to being you. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Focus has expanded its roster of flavors with 4 new big hitters. Crisp apple, mixed berry, cherry cola, and root beer add to Focus's already impressive roster of flavors.
Focus has been our go-to drink for years when it's time for a pick-me-up around the office.
Focus is a naturally energizing caffeinated sparkling water
so it's free of any of the bad stuff you find in sodas and energy drinks.
Go to drinkfocus.com to find the full lineup of flavors and get them delivered right to your door.
Focus, PHOCUS. Try it today.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMS was our answer. HIMS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/LOVE.
Who said you have to be on a golf course to get a mulligan? Download the Twin Spire Sportsbook app right now, and you'll unlock a good old-fashioned mulligan up to $1,000 if your opening bet misses the win column. Just use code FREE1000 and take your swing with up to $1,000 risk-free bet with Twin Spires.
Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit twinspires.com. Offer valid for new players only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Indiana to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9 with it.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Years later, calling my girlfriend's job and mine, trying to break us up.
You know what this girl used to do, Steve?
Yeah.
Keela Harmon. She had a key to my
names.
She had a key to my car.
Going the next step here. Let's do it.
She had a key to my car. I used to park my car in front of Gibbs' house.
Yeah.
She used to go. I didn't know she had this key to my car. She used to go flip my car around. I thought I was crazy. I would be pulling back up to Mike's house and I would see my car facing down the street when I know I parked it facing up the street. And I used to pull up and I used to be like, Gibbs, did I park like that when I got over here? And he like, I don't know, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, I swear to God, I don't park like this, what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
And she did that, and when she finally told me she did, oh man, it's like one of them, like things are all good right now between us, but it's like, I'm never gonna trust you, right?
That's
like,
amazing.
like I'm never gonna recover.
That's
from
amazing.
Thinking I'm crazy, like
that's not a bad ex. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
No, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Like I don't have bad.
So you don't have a story like this. They said Heather gave up we're going names. Heather gave up my UK U of L basketball tickets to go out of town. Or he says, I guess her name was Heather. So he gave up his UK U of L basketball tickets to go out of town to meet her parents. And the day they got back, she broke up with him.
But does that make the relationship bad?
435. I'm not going to read that one, but that would probably be the winner. I had a girlfriend put a blunt out on my face while I was driving.
Keela did punch me one time.
Whoa.
Yeah. She got me square in the jaw.
Come on, ladies. We need some bad boyfriend stories here, man. Like, some of y'all, I know y'all had some bad boyfriends. We can start reading one that's way too familiar. Wait a minute.
I know her.
Yeah. Well, I had a boyfriend once.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think I got. Oh. Keisha Ivy.
Okay.
8th grade.
Keisha Ivy, 8th grade. Fair enough.
She was messing with Cam Jackson. He was up in the high school, and she was like kind of pretending to be I was like the 8th grade little kid boyfriend, and she had a high school boyfriend. So yes, yeah, 8th grade.
That's intense.
Yeah, that's about it. She's terrible.
Well, yeah, that's awful. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, she's a terrible person.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah. I should. You know what? I should actually go apologize to Cam, because Cam didn't know why I wanted to destroy him on the court for the rest of his life. Steve, Cam, this is my guy too. He ended up quitting.
Yeah,
he ended up quitting our high school team.
Like, yeah, I win.
Yeah. Look, and I didn't even really know who he was. I mean, I heard of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, blame her, Cam, and blame Keisha.
No, I feel you though, because I'm the same. I don't think I really had any like bad,
just like
exes.
But maybe I didn't stick around long enough to just watch it get worse. You know?
Yeah, that's true too. Or you just didn't give it the time of day. It was like, all right, if you're mad, you're mad. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I'm counting like actual girlfriends.
Yeah, not just girl you talk to.
I've had a couple that you kind of talk to, and then they kind of get like, okay, it's kind of getting weird, you know?
Yeah, abort.
Yeah.
Abort.
It's like, hang on, I'll do a couple more, and then we'll get back to it. My ex got pissed at me and flushed a quarter down the toilet. Oh dear God,
a quarter.
Oh God.
A quarter.
Oh God.
Steve, did you just read that on air? Hey, girlfriend's flushing 8 balls down.
Y'all gonna give me.
Look,
We're okay
talking about blunts and so on.
Yeah, look. Steve's talking about why are they flushing pool ball down? His
brain was going.
Yeah, I was
8
like,
ball.
Yeah, it's like
25 cents.
I was like, dude, do you need some money?
Did it not flush?
I was like, I was seriously for a second. It took me about 30. It took me about 5 seconds to go. Do they back up toilets or something? I was like, oh crap.
Let's just say that's probably not that I know or anything, but in the $120 range.
Right?
Yeah. I was like, oh God. I had a girlfriend kick over my new motorcycle because I was out too late. I immediately broke up with her and sued her in small claims court.
Property damage. Do I have any property damage girlfriends?
I don't think I have property damage girlfriends. I know I don't have that. Maybe we were just good boyfriends. I don't know.
That's probably why we make good radio personalities. Good boyfriends.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I've had, I broke up with girls, but I don't think I ever But I was never like break up with you like, ooh, then I'm just gonna get your best friend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no spiteful. Yeah, no spiteful.
Yeah, I was like, hey man,
could I small claims? Could I take Keela to small claims for mental and physical, or was it mental distress?
Broke up with my girlfriend at KFC and she stabbed me in the hand with one of those old KFC forks.
The sporks?
Yeah.
And she was turning my car around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I was. That's where I was about to go back to. I think you probably could, but that's funny though. That's like really funny. Like that. That's not like that one's like, okay, you win that one. Like that's
not.
That's awesome.
That's not okay. Where do we leave off at? We buried the name, image, and likeness conversation. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, because in the next hour, we're gonna get a little more local again.
Can I talk about David Johnson really quick? We're our last couple of minutes.
Oh, okay. You want to do David Johnson now? All right, let's do it.
No, okay. Put it this way. I want to be negative for these last couple of seconds of David Johnson.
Okay.
Because then I might be positive on the other side.
Okay, fair enough.
Negative. David Johnson, this touched me the wrong way, Steve, and I feel some kind of way. Okay. Brian Hall, did you see what David Johnson's official measurement was at the NBA Combine?
No, I saw his stat line yesterday: 10 points and 4 rebounds in 17 minutes.
David Johnson measured out in the NBA Combine at 6'3" and a quarter.
Okay.
Steve, we've been saying David Johnson's 6'5" for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I know I've told you this before, but Coach Crum, I cannot believe I'm taller than David Johnson. And they would not let me round up. And I'm round upable.
Yeah.
I'm more than 6'3" and a half. I should have been rounded up to 6'4". That made a hell of a difference a lot of times, because the rule was if you're not 6'4", you cannot play the 2 guard in the NBA. Like, that was the baseline rule. You know what Coach said to me when I went complaining about rounding up? Marcus, it's good that they don't think you're so tall, because, guys won't know how tall you are until you get on the court. Coach, I need this half an inch on my resume. David Johnson's been running around, and we've been saying he's 6'5". Steve, we've been saying he can guard anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what you did under Crum's regime? We switched everything.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
guess who I was guarding? Brandon Hayward,
Yeah.
Jeff Cable, Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah.
We switched everything. You mean to tell me he's been running around here getting to say he's a 6'5", play 1, 2, and the 3? Because 6'5" can be an undersized 3, Steve.
I know.
That's BS, Coach.
But, of course, you also know how they measure, too. He might be 6'5" in shoes.
No, I was 6'5" in shoes.
I was like, you do heels up against the wall.
Yeah, they push your head down. Yeah, they
don't
get a
play.
legit measurement.
Yeah.
That's what, listen, I was happy because my combine was the incredible shrinking men of college basketball.
Yeah.
I was out in Arizona, and I was looking at 6'3s turn into 6'1s, and I'm like, you mean to tell me this dude, they're putting me and this other guy in the same category because we're both 6'3".
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is 6 foot and 5'8". We were not the same, but they had already had so much glamour, Steve, that the teams had already damn near made up their mind.
Yeah.
Man, I was disgusted.
Yeah.
And David looked big out there.
Somebody said even Marcus needs an extra half inch.
We could all use an extra half inch.
Only when it's cold. Whoa, get the play out. Only in the.
I mean, I'm never not going to turn down a half inch,
Oh, right.
Okay.
Pause. Pause. Oh.
Just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NBA playoffs and the NBA Finals this season, as we'll have coverage of Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tonight when the Hawks take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Currently, the Hawks hold a 1-0 series lead, and the tip-off for that game tonight is set for 8:30. We'll have that coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville starting at 8 o'clock. Moving on to Major League Baseball news, the Cincinnati Reds got above 500 with a win last night against the Atlanta Braves, and they pulled off a 5-3 win, and they currently sit at 37-36 on the year. Nick Castellanos led the way for the Reds, going 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs and 1 run, and they'll look to make it 2 in a row against the Braves tonight, with our coverage beginning at 7 o'clock on ESPN 680. Big news came down yesterday as Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signed an executive order to require all colleges in the state of Kentucky to allow student athletes to make money in their name, image, and likeness. University of Louisville Athletic Director Vince Tyree will address the media about the order at noon. We'll have that coverage for you on the V Show. And UK Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart will do the same at 2 o'clock, and that will also be during the V Show on ESPN 680. Louisville women's basketball coach Jeff Walls joined our very own Drew Diener earlier on the Diener Show, and he gave his thoughts on Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear signing that order.
First off, I'd like to thank our governor. We were one of many states that had not come up with a plan yet. And in this recruiting world, when you're competing against, I think, six that was ready to pass his name, image, and likeness bill to allow the student athletes to be able to go out and make some money, earn some money. It's a little bit of a recruiting disadvantage to not be in that mix. So very grateful.
You can catch that full interview on the ESPN Louisville SoundCloud page or at 939theville.com. And last but certainly not least, the Louisville Bats were also in action last night as they lost 6-2 to the Indians, and they'll look to rebound tonight at 7 o'clock at Louisville Slugger Field. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Summer is upon us, and you are about to find out how strong your cooling system is. And if you find out that it's not ready for the long summer ahead, then call DFH Company today at 968-6222. Right now, when you buy a full train system, receive an extended 10-year part and labor warranty and 18-month special financing. It's hard to stop a train, so call DFH 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Who said you have to be on a golf course to get a mulligan? Download the Twin Spire Sportsbook app right now, and you'll unlock a good old-fashioned mulligan up to $1,000 if your opening bet misses the win column. Just use code FREE1000 and take your swing with up to $1,000 risk-free bet with Twin Spires.
Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit twinspires.com. Offer valid for new players only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Indiana to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9 with it.
The NBA playoffs continue.
Back-to-back three-pointers for Ice Trae Young.
They all feed off the confidence Trae Young plays with, and you saw that here tonight in Game 1.
Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks continue to roll, winning Game 1 in Milwaukee. Now Giannis and the Bucks look to bounce back to tie the series up at 1.
You can't get too high, you can get too low. You got to come out, Game 2, try to compete, and wish for the best.
Coverage begins tonight at 8 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
about that. He says, we were just running the advertisements. Enzo says, I'm 6'1" and a quarter, but 6'2" sounds so much better. I mean, it does for the ladies.
Yeah.
It does for the NBA scouts, and that makes a difference.
I was telling you, man, for me, it was the number. It's funny how everybody's number is different. Mine was 6'4". It was 6'4". I was like, in cleats and stuff. It's like, I'm like, if I could just get 6'4", just on the, because here's the thing. Like, I get what Coach Crum was saying. That's but the problem is 6'4" tight end gets them here.
Right.
And then they see me to play, and they
right.
see me play, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, then they're not as worried. They're not going to be as worried. Like, I trust, no, when you come watch me play, then you're not going to worry about it. As opposed to like if I'm, 6'3", 6'2" and a half, it's like, no,
yeah, there's a million of those.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. In cleats, I'm 6'3" and 3/4 or a half. Like, let's.
So here's what we do. We revisit a moment in recent history. Brian Hall, do you remember roughly Tuesday or Thursday what the scuttlebutt was about David Johnson and his draft status?
Not off the top of my head.
The other day,
Brian doesn't actually work here. he just
hangs out.
He just comes and hangs out.
He's a squatter
from 10 to noon.
Jonathan Givony.
Yes.
The name ring a bell?
Yeah, ESPN.
Do you remember what news had everybody buzzing a couple of days ago?
NBA wise?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of NBA news.
David Johnson did not show up on either round of the draft board. You remember us talking about that?
I do know that. And then I knew that SI had him squarely in the mid-second round.
Let's leave it with Givony.
Okay.
David Johnson's not getting drafted. He knows his stuff. Givony knows his stuff, Steve. And if he doesn't have David Johnson getting drafted, David screwed up. He was supposed to be a lottery, and he's not getting drafted, and it's not gonna. David Johnson. I couldn't stop hearing about David Johnson not being on this draft board.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It was hurting my feelings. It was hurting my feelings so much so, Steve, that you made a comment that turned into the opening of conversation everywhere else when you said, all due respect, Scrub got in there, David Johnson's going to get drafted.
Right.
You said that confidently.
Well, that wasn't. Wait a minute. This is news to me. That wasn't controversial, was it?
Wasn't controversial, but it was a conversation starter. Put it that way.
Really?
At places outside of Middays with Marcus Maven.
That because Scrub got drafted, David would get drafted?
Yes, it was a conversation starter. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
I did hear your voice elsewhere, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Of all the things I say, I didn't know that would be one.
Yes, that was. Okay.
Fair enough.
So, can we fast forward to early Thursday evening? One Jonathan Givony. Less than 24 hours later, Steve, after that comes out. Louisville's David Johnson was a lot of fun to watch today. Slid in everywhere from 1 to 4, doing all the little things to help his team win. Defended everyone, made some great passes, and found ways to score despite his jumper not really falling. Really set the tone for his team. There's a man who doesn't mind backtracking on his draft status. I bet you his next draft has David Johnson in there.
Sure. Sure.
Steve, I'm disappointed because you don't get to gloat about the change in momentum on this one. The reason you don't get to gloat is because you knew it all along.
Yeah, there's nothing to gloat about. I mean, like he measured, because we joked in the break before, but I mean, he measured in shoes at 6'5". his wingspan, like the texter said, his wingspan was 3 inches longer than Russell Westbrook's. He had a 39-inch vertical and then played well in the scrimmage. Like, the kid's getting drafted. Like, it's not.
Did everything and played 1 through 4.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a big opinion there that I'm jumping off a ledge or anything. Like, I mean,
right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like that's why I say, like, there's not anything to gloat. Like, that's one of those where I would literally look somebody in their face and go, I'm not arguing with you, brother. Like, I'm not wasting a second of my life to argue. What
was that? Taco
and
yeah,
Anthony Davis. Yeah. Like, I know. It's like, but yeah, like, I'm not gonna argue whether, like, David's not gonna get picked. I don't.
To be fair, Taco Fall's been available for all his games.
That is true.
Thinking about backtracking on that one, Steve?
No.
Taco Fall should have beat Zion.
No. Yeah. Right.
They almost had him.
They did almost have him. That was a great game. But yeah, no. And again, David is doing what we knew he would, man. You get out here in the combine, you're going to play well. He's going to find people. He knows how to play.
And he does everything.
If this team hadn't been such a terrible shooting team, I think his assist numbers would have been up by 1 or 2 at least a game.
At least.
I'm saying average.
No.
Okay.
Woodbridge to your lineup today. Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. From One for All. Please enjoy our wine.
And technology. Apply today at CarMaxAutoTech.com. That's CarMaxAutoTech.com.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. They may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529. Offices Louisville. Who said you have to be on a golf course to get a mulligan? Download the Twin Spire Sportsbook app right now, and you'll unlock a good old-fashioned mulligan up to $1,000 if your opening bet misses the win column. Just use code FREE1000 and take your swing with up to $1,000 risk-free bet
with Twin Spires. Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit twinspires.com. Offer valid for new players only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Indiana to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9 with it.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab,
Are we using that as our last break and we'll just run through the end of the show?
it's right around the corner at 1053 Golf.
I'm just trying to figure out if I should play Everybody's Working for the Weekend.
Yeah, go ahead. There, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services. He was wrong when he said our man Brian Hall doesn't work here because he saved the day. Marcus Raven got a little passionate, threw a little tantrum. That's what happens. I can never be accused of not being passionate about my team.
It's fair enough.
I apparently banged the desk and something came unplugged.
Unplugged all the sound and everything to the studio.
Just the whole shut down.
Okay, Brian to the rescue.
Luckily, Brian knows what he's doing.
I know.
Squatter. Yeah. Brian just this guy in the producer thing just hangs out here from 10 to noon.
Just waits for something to go wrong.
Yeah, it just sits back here.
That takes care of us here. So appreciate that.
Okay, so what got me so worked up, what put me into tantrum mode, is Steve saying a simple phrase. David could have 1 or 2 more assists if we had shooters. Then I started replaying all of David Johnson's moments. Then I got mad again. And I said, how many times did David or Carleek set up my big man right under the basket? Alley-oops, everything. Mm-hmm. They weren't ready to catch the alley-oops. They weren't ready to finish. So not only the three-pointing outside shooting, but the finishing around the basket. They didn't have to respect our one big man could guard 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
He could help. And then when the pass was made, he could recover and still block my big man.
Yeah. That's fair.
So David's numbers were so dependent on finishing.
Yeah.
You want to know why I threw that tantrum? And he hates this. He hates that his name always comes up in this one, but I'm scarred. Ellis, I'm scarred.
Mm-hmm.
You're not hitting the free throws. When I dish it to you, you got to stop pump faking and getting fouled.
Yeah.
Yes, Ellis, it's good you're getting fouled. You're shooting 40% and I don't get an assist. God. Joseph Nsima.
Of course, the text line is blowing up with Sidney Curry knows how to finish. I feel like we've already.
That's the title of the show. Sorry, keep going.
No, I was gonna say I feel like we've already put him on the team, and it's
I know.
Like
for people wondering where the title of the show came from, that was because I felt like, Marcus, you're just going you're having way too much fun with this Sydney. You're having so much fun. And I get mad at people who do this, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get my hopes up and then not get him at the last minute. And
Right.
I'm doing exactly that. I woke up this morning saying, I don't even want to talk about Sidney Curry until we land him.
I know it's like, yeah, well, it was fun. Now let's wait and see if we
because
this one up or not.
This is one of those build up, Steve, that's gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's gonna hurt my feelings. And I keep on telling everybody how hard it is to land a guy who just decommitted from Kansas. It's hard to get that guy to commit to your program.
Yeah.
Because he can go anywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got him on your campus on Sunday.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah. The word is.
As I say, allegedly. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I do think
we got a guy on our team that knows you.
Yeah. I mean, it's one that I feel like that as long as there's, everything is good and he fits and he meshes.
I don't want to be mad at Coach Mack.
I know. I mean, if there's underlying circumstance there, I don't know. But
there's only one underlying circumstance, Steve, that I'm going to give a pass for.
Okay.
And I'm going to need that to be leaked out.
Okay, I'm listening.
No, you already know what it is, Steve. The same reason some recruiting visits ended early under Rick Pitino.
Well, it's June 25th. That's not going to be an issue. July 1st to be here in 6 days.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I would imagine that won't be a problem. I mean, hopefully.
So how are we going to do this? GoFundMe?
I know. It would be a little bit of a.
We're going to raise an ESPN. Or are we going to raise a Players Club 93.9 sponsorship package?
Well, here's the yes.
We need a pot.
Yes.
We need to raise a pot, Brian. We need to raise a players pot.
Yeah, fair enough.
For 93.9.
Yeah.
Just to make the transition for some of our
Yeah, no.
Because this name, image, and likeness is going to affect us at the station a lot because now we're going to have players coming in to voice commercials and different things like that.
Yeah. And we'll pay. I'll pay.
We'll give you that Skrilla.
We'll pay. Yeah. I was going to say, absolutely. So it's like this team. That's why I think people are. You have watched the videos, you've watched Team 108, and the reason why I think his addition would just spike the excitement would be you're going to add Matt Cross in the coming days, a 6'8" shooter, and then you add this guy, and it's like, man, like I think the excitement for this team would be through the roof at that point. Just people ready to get to the season. And here's the
excitement or pressure.
No, well, I don't know about pressure because they're kind of being underrated. I mean, so
you don't think if you add him, that's going to change the ratings?
I mean, I think it would a little bit. I think you might get yourself in the top 15, or I'm sorry, the top 25 now more. And it's like, because I think Louisville's going to be one of the most preseason wise, unless something changes in between now and then. If it keeps going the way it is, they're going to be one of the more underrated teams in the country. They'll be in the top 25 within 2 weeks of the season, and it's like you're going to be able to get good money on them early because it's almost like people have just kind of pushed that aside and they're focused over here.
Do you think he changed in 30 games? You think his addition changes the over under?
Oh, I think it could. Because, I mean,
if you just were predicting, if you said, if you could get over under 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you knew he was coming to this team.
I would take over 16 now.
No, I'm just saying, how many games?
Yeah.
How many games do you think he would just over under?
Well, I mean, I think
like
a couple
would the line move by 3 games?
I was going to say, I would say at least 1.5 or, I mean, that you would get. Yeah, absolutely.
1.5.
Yeah,
if you added him,
sure. And it's like, so if you add him, and then again you add Matt Cross to the roster we've already watched. I mean, I think at that point you're like, okay, we're good, unless you just really find another guard that falls out of somewhere that you really want that can handle the ball, or whatever. Then fine, you add that too, and then you are finished officially. But I think the excitement going into this season, because excitement is growing for this football team. Every time Malik gets another
list,
every time, you know what I'm saying? Like every time you get that, every time you get another coach talking about the defense or something, and you got the big Ole Miss game. People are excited to get back out and travel.
73 days,
something like that. Yeah. Or actually, I think it might be a little 72. It might have been 73 or so. But you're getting the excitement of we're going to Atlanta. I mean, we were talking group. We were chatting the other day about, okay, are we going to get everything ready? Because we're going to go down. Of course, we're going to Atlanta. We're going to the game. You know, I was already thinking like, okay, it's Monday, so I'm probably gonna do a show down there. I'm assuming we'll probably, knowing how we do things here at ESPN Louisville, even though it's Labor Day, I would imagine we'll probably be doing shows that day with it being game day. You know, it's like, so I'm already like, okay, I'm probably gonna see if Drew and them are going down there. Okay, like I love it because I'm excited about that. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna plan to probably be wherever they are, and so that way I can just get the equipment from him, and then, you know, we can knock it out. So it's the excitement that's growing for the seasons to start,
both seasons.
And I mean, you know, and of course I'm not missing, you know, Haley Van Lith coming back and everything that's happening there. And it's like, but for the fall is what I was going to say, for the fall and winter, that excitement is building, and just adding Sydney Curry would be just that cherry right on top that I think would push people over, where they were like, dude, like Louisville Live this year is going to be unreal.
Are we going to do a Louisville Live?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was one of their best things. That's one of the best things. I mean, the marketing department, I mean, dude, that's one of the best things they've ever came up with. That was incredible. Of course they're going to do it.
I don't like them on that small court.
I do wish there was a way you could do something with a little more.
They need some space, man.
Yeah, a little more space. But that's me nitpicking, and I love the event. I love the event.
Yeah, I just need a little more plank on the sides, and I'm just so uncomfortable with that lack of stretching your legs.
But they just, you know, they shoot, that's it. You know, it's like they do the shoot, they do the dunk. Yeah, it's like
get some good music playing.
Yeah, and the ambiance of it does rattle in there because you're right there and the people are on top of you, you know, at 4th Street, and
it looks like a WWF.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it does. It really does. So, and I like it because there's not the, you know, you could do it at the Yum Center, but it's different.
We're gonna be at the Yum anyway.
It's different. This is ours. This is our thing. Louisville Live's our thing, man. Like
I remember, like I said, I mentioned the top 10 recruit was upset because they hadn't yet got invited to the Louisville Live, and they were like, I think they were a sophomore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, when that came out,
and ended up being a 5-star.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Just them listening and hearing about other potential recruits getting to go to that thing.
The texter says the lack of space makes the event even cooler. To me, it packs everyone in. That's kind of my argument too. Back is
I know what you're saying, but just the athlete in me looks at the size of the court and they don't get to stretch their legs enough. You know what I'm saying, to get their bodies warm. I just don't like, you know, stiff jumping in a tight court. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, that's just kind of for the product, you know. I want to see them get a little more running.
I think that's fair. But again, the excitement that's going to be built up for that, and then you add a guy like this, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, because now you come into the season and you're like, okay, we're going to see Matt Cross shooting some threes. You know, Noah Locke versus Matt Cross in the 3-point contest.
We just had that conversation. Who you taking?
Well, I took Locke, but I mean that's going to be something we're going to get to see at Louisville Live. Then you're going to have a dunk contest, and if you added Sydney Curry and Jalen Withers now in the dunk contest, you know, and you say, okay, Mike James is in the dunk contest, and you're adding,
who would win the dunk contest right now?
I think Ellis would have a shot because he's going to look flashy
because he's shorter.
Yeah, and he can move. I mean, he can.
Who won the other one?
Jalen Withers won it.
Jalen Withers won
and
one.
then the first one was Darius, yeah. So Darius and Jalen Withers. So we're the two. Texture says Louisville Live is perfect. I could do without the knockout game though. Yeah, I agree with that.
The super knockout game.
Unless they want to put me in it, and then I'll play. Texture says, so do we have a realistic shot at getting Curry? I've been too excited. I guess since it's Friday, word on the street, man, is that he is visiting on possibly Sunday and Monday, and it's to my knowledge,
is it like a Sunday or Monday, one of those days?
No, I think it's both.
He has a scheduled 2 days.
And to my knowledge, I don't think it's as much on court stuff as it is. Let's just see. Do you like it?
Yeah, let's feel each other out.
The guys, and you move on from there. And we see. I mean, so it's definitely a possibility, man. And what a weekend it could be to add him and Matt Cross to the team, and you're ready to roll, man.
And the fact that if you're coming in at the same time as Matt Cross, it's like y'all are two different people. Y'all are gonna be two different positions, same size, but just different. Like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Is he gonna come in and look at the bodies of some other guys and say, yeah, I got some minutes here?
Yeah. And I hope he does.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to, look, the thought of him and Malik next to each other excites me. The thought of it raising Jalen Withers and JJ Trainer's game, like, I'm not so sure. Again, as pumped as we are for him, I know. I'm not making him a starter.
Right. That was the conversation I was gonna have, and it's like, do you see him coming in here taking a start?
Yeah. I'm not. I know we're having fun, and I'm really pumped about adding him to the team, but I'm not necessarily giving him a starting spot over Jalen Withers yet. Like, I'm like, well, let's see how everything goes, because let's not forget, Jalen Withers was a first-team freshman All ACC player last year, and
there's attrition,
and is taller. Like, so I'm like, let's not just say Sidney Curry is, comes in. Well, he's obviously going to be the starter there. No, I'm actually seeing
they're going to be able to extend the defense too.
Oh yeah, because I'm watching that highlight film and I'm going, God, can you imagine bringing that off the bench? You've got a team with some bigs, and you play 6 hard minutes of college basketball, and then that guy comes in. You're like, oh my God. It's like, and JJ Trainer, who just switches everything. And I think even adding Curry will allow JJ, I don't want to say move up to the 3, because I don't like to do that really, because he's going to technically be the 4 most of the time he's in the game, and I don't like to play the position spots. But I think it would allow you to play, say, him and Matt Cross together. You know what I'm saying? And play Matt Cross.
Some dudes are going to excel and some are not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, we could play a lineup of L. Ellis, Matt Cross, JJ Trainer. You know what I'm saying? Of Sidney Curry and Malik.
Okay, give me a starting lineup right now.
The starting lineup right now, today, this moment.
Let's add Sidney.
Okay, this very moment. Now, I think this is a change, but I'm doing right now.
Yeah. This is just right now.
If we played tomorrow,
yep,
I think it would be Jared West.
I think
it'd be Noah Locke. I think it'd be Sam Williamson. Jalen Withers. And Malik Williams. Again, I know Malik and Roosevelt aren't practicing right now, but or aren't going 5-on-5. But I'm trying to add all the guys on the team. I think that would be the starting 5 if the season started today. I think there could be a change there
by season time.
To what? We'll see how L. Ellis comes along. I think Noah Locke and Sam Williamson will start for sure. I don't know that I'd lock anybody else in.
I think, you know what I think?
I'm listening.
I think Jared West and Malik are the only 2 locks.
Okay, fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up with Jared West, Sam Williamson, Malik, Jalen,
Okay.
DeAndre?
I don't know. I don't think so. He might. I mean, I guess he might.
And I say that because I know Mac values trust over potential.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Who do you have DeAndre starting over?
I just got him I got Sam, DeAndre, Jalen, Malik, and Jared West.
I just don't think there's no way Noah Locke don't start. I could be proven to be wrong on that, but Mac's known Noah Locke for years. He loved his game in high school. They said that Noah Locke said like within minutes of going into the portal, Mac called him. Like it's like you love his game. That's a guy you're like, God, you know how many times that year he was probably like, God, if I could have added that Locke kid. And Locke's out here breaking the freshman record at Florida, and he was like, God, if I could have had that kid added to this roster. Like, I missed that one, dude. I'm like, I just can't imagine that he's not a starter. And he's a solid guy. I mean, he's played 3 or 4 years in the SEC. You know, and it's like, texters, let me get a couple of these texts. A lot of people are coming in. This one says off topic, but the company I work for is putting on a big live period AAU event at the Expo Center from July 16th to the 18th. It'll be a good time for people to see the next wave of prospects. I'd like to know more about that. Curry is a change of pace guy on those nights where Jalen is getting bullied. Let's see.
No, Jalen's not going to get bullied ever again.
I'm with you. Let's see. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. It'd be like Montrez coming in off the bench to back up Shane. I kind of like agree with that. Like not comparing the four.
Yeah,
I guess.
Or we said styles.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I did want to do that today. Like I'm not saying. And hey, but if Curry can come in and start,
I do like the idea of guys having to work to get on that court.
Yeah. And if he's good enough to come in, I would love to have him as a starter.
And listen, the fans also, like myself and the fans, kind of, we don't do the why does coach trust that guy? Like we want to see for ourselves so we can work out the starting lineup kind of as a, you know what I'm saying? Like we ran into that with Aiden.
It's gonna be the deepest team he's ever had, right?
It'll be one of the deeper teams we've seen here in a while.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
we're
think
players because I think they're players.
Yeah. So
I'll kill him if he goes to one of them 6-man rotations.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. If he goes 6-man rotation and I gotta look at Mike James never taking off his warm up, I'm gonna go crazy.
Play your guys, man. Like
right.
Stop recruiting so many.
Right.
Like just interesting text. Texture says, do you think Curry helps with the FSU thing? A big like Curry. Do you think his physicality? Because that's what the texter says. Curry, the FSU killer. I said. So I'm asking you.
Speaking of, I was watching the combine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were making some comparisons of guys. They started showing Terrence Mann and Isaacs from Florida State, and they just started going down, and Raekwon Gray. They started going down those rosters. And I'm like,
Vasile,
Patrick Williams. Do y'all realize what kind of NBA talent we were playing against with Jordan and them got beat down in Florida State the last couple of years?
Yeah. No, unreal.
They got they had a team full of NBA players.
Yeah.
For 3 years in a row.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
At least 6 NBA players per roster.
Yeah, and then you see Scotty Barnes coming out.
Scotty Barnes, yeah.
Like, golly.
Yeah, I was just looking.
They've got another little group down there now that they're gonna be they're gonna be good again,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we gotta stop feeling like there's so much shame in a Florida State loss.
Yeah,
I get listen, I know in Louisville and all that good stuff, just like they gotta eat some football losses.
Yeah.
They gotta eat that. Louisville's not, you know what I'm saying, just excited to bring.
And I'll listen to some of it as style. I'll listen to that. I'll listen to where Rick could bust them up. It never was an issue. Mac's different. Like I would play that game too. Like, but I still think that Rick he'd had his hands full with Florida State over the last few years. And maybe the style you would have won.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you remember we were always excited Okay, even at Rick's the end of his tenure, those were big games. And we were pumped to go down there and get wins at Florida State. Even watching Trez, and we were happy to see Honest go down and do his thing against Florida State. Yeah, they were nipping at Rick's heels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so sure.
Yeah, I couldn't even point being, watching the combine, I saw a lot of Florida State either highlights and they were talking about the guys who made the biggest jump ups in the combine. A couple Florida State players,
right.
Yeah, they really had some dudes.
Yeah, so it's it will be, like I said, that's kind of where you go though. It would be a really nice weekend to add those two to the roster.
Okay, with the roster we have now, Steve, does he like the tall lineup or do you like the guard heavy lineup?
Steve?
Yes.
Or Coach Mack? Oh, okay.
Steve and then Coach Mack.
Because
my idea. Let me set you up a little bit. My ideal, if I could have my way, right?
Yeah,
I would go so big with my lineup. I would listen. If it was Louisville basketball and I was in charge of the Louisville basketball program with this roster, and keep in mind, Steve, we're doing old Coach Mack.
Yeah.
When we did the rosters, we were factoring in Coach Mack and
appreciate that tweet, man.
How he likes the loyalty and all that good stuff. Steve.
Yeah.
If he's gonna change and hit this up tempo stuff like that, go get me L. Ellis. Go get me Sam. Go get me Mike James. Get me Jalen Withers. Get me Malik.
Yeah.
Huge lineup.
Yeah, I mean,
and come in with I'm coming in with JJ first. So my whole outside of L. Ellis, I'm looking at 6'6", 6'7", 6'7", 6'11", 6'9". That looks imposing. And that's an athlete, and I'm saying looks, and that's a long, athletic team that can run.
Sure. Well, that's what I was.
Ellis and Mike can run.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If Jalen is working hard, if JJ is working hard, you catch up with Ellis and Mike James.
Yeah.
JJ, speed. Jalen, speed. Malik, he'll be the last one down, but he can shoot the three, trailing.
Well, even Curry. I mean,
yeah,
I hate him doing this because it's like we don't have him yet. We don't know if that's even going to be a thing. But I mean, that's a guy it's a big guy that can run. But 100%, man, I'm with you. My immediate answer is I always liked the bigger teams. It was why I hated losing to Kentucky in some years with Coach Pitino, because it was like they're just bigger. That's all they are. They're just bigger. And I really was spoiled a little bit on the hanging out at halftime with you.
The Enoch Malik scene
when Jordan, Steve, Malik, those guys would walk out. You were like, they're massive. This team is massive. And then sitting courtside and watching, like, they're just big. And there was a couple games we won where I was like, we're just big.
There was nothing like watching Steven Enoch go to the bench and bringing in Malik.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, this team is bigger than that team. Height-wise.
Yep.
I don't know about this ball size, but like height-wise, this team's bigger than that team. And the reason I think I love the Curry edition so much is that's the one thing we don't have is the bulky guy. You know what I mean? Like, so you add him, you go, this team's got about everything you need.
Gabe was our bulky guy.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's like, Gabe don't look like that.
He doesn't move like that.
He doesn't move like that. Yeah. So it's like, man, and then you look and you're like, you've got Mike.
So you like the taller lineups too?
Yeah, 100%. I take the bigger, taller lineups every time. That's why.
And they can D up.
I have I really struggle. There's a couple teams. Carolina always, I gawked at where we set over the last few years, because every time they seem to always be massive. when they walk by us,
They just seem taller. Yeah.
And they're the one, you know how I like to stand up and size up the teams. They're the one that puts me back in my seat about halfway through the line. Like,
Yep.
because they're just always.
No, you look like their point. When their point jogs off,
yeah,
he's the only guy you really match up size
because they're so big when they come on. And Florida State was the other one.
Baycoat is coming back too. You see that?
Yeah.
Armando Baycoat.
That was a good decision by him though, because this is one of the first years where he's not going to be surrounded by 5 bigs. Like, you're the guy, you're the big for them this year.
I never liked this game that much.
No, I'm not. That one doesn't really worry me all that much. But yeah, Carolina was always big. Their wings were big. They were just big. And Florida State was the other one. When they're out there, you're just like, God, they're big. They're just big, man. And it's like, I like being that team that you just see and you're like, God, they're just huge.
Especially if you don't mind going to rebound.
Yeah.
If you don't mind letting them.
And that's something we've put trust in Mac. So I'm like, okay, I expect these guys to be good rebounds.
I let you start going to the offensive rebound, offensive boards if y'all can.
Do you remember the first year with when we bust Carolina down in Carolina and they come back here?
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted us, and they played really well in the first half, but we got out rebounded severely, and we were all like, okay, this is a learning moment. Are we going to come out? Is he going to get them to rebound in the second half? And he did. We kicked their butt on the boards in the next half. They were just that game and the game in the ACC tournament. Louisville played that second half really well and played that whole game down in the ACC tournament really well.
That was the trash Carolina Donovan.
Yeah. That's what I say. That game against Carolina in the ACC tournament, Louisville played really well. The Carolina was just better, and they were going to beat them. Like they had that Louisville. We cannot losing to you again.
I hated that too, man. I hated that. That was, you know what that reminded me of? When Kenyon Martin came on this show.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
And I asked him about, like, dude, we saw y'all lose to crap teams.
Yeah. And then beat us.
Oh, and no, dude, it wasn't just your execution. Y'all were different humans. Y'all were frothing at the mouth. We should have been, but it was kind of like we were both having good years, but he just came in with a different emotion, right?
Yeah.
And he explained, we can lose, but not to Louisville.
Yeah.
Talking about Huggins said, we can lose every other game, but not to Louisville.
Yeah.
What? And I was like, what was it about us that did it?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is my first year. I just punked us so bad. And
Coach said, what did he say? He said, Coach Huggins said, you don't lose to them. That's the one where I won't even talk to you. I'm not riding the bus back, and
I won't even talk to y'all no more.
Yeah.
If you lose to this team.
Okay, so Pedro, July 1st coming up. How much is it going to take for me to get you back in college basketball?
That's a tough one. I wasn't expecting that one.
Look, love of God, don't answer
right.
that.
I was going to say, take that answer off air.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. It's like, well, what do we need? Find some companies around Louisville. Let's get Pedro paid and get him back.
Do you think it's gonna be crazy?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be good, but it has its pros and cons. I mean, certain guys are going to be getting a little bread from certain things, and some guys won't be. Some guys aren't as popular, might not have the name or the face.
So you're worried about the locker room dynamic?
Yeah, and it might not be outward, but we've all been in the locker room. You can sometimes you might be able to sense it. Like, dang, man, Walmart called this guy, got him on the such. Ain't nobody called me. Stuff like that. So.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't think I'm crossing the line here. So, but